Happy evening, all of y'all. Am I audible?
Good evening, sir.
Wait,
Good evening, sir.
just put that recording thing in. Let me put that got it button and then move on. Just hold on, just hold. Okay, now I've got it and now it's okay, guys. So nice to hear y'all and be with y'all after a long period of time. I hope y'all are studying well. Even if you're not studying well, it's okay. You still have 1 month left, so y'all can do lots of things in this 1 month. So let's start. There will be a few disturbances while I'm taking the class because my wife hasn't yet come back from work, so she'll ring the bell and there's one order which I've placed at GeoMart which will come and I'm alone at home. Okay, so please y'all will have to bear with me. Got it? Yes?
Yes.
No? Maybe? Hi Shreya, Shrikant.
Hi, sir. Good evening.
Good evening. How are you all of you? Hi Mega Paul. Mega Paulette, sorry. How are the others? Udaya Avi Shetty is there. Sudanwa, hello. Sai Rishika.
Nice.
Hi Lasya.
Hi, sir.
Hi Catherine. You're in Chennai? Catherine is not answering. She's there, Shreya?
Yes, sir. She's there.
Hi Ashwini.
Good evening, sir. How are you, sir?
Great, Ashwini Akka. Then who else is there? Just see some other names which I can't see. Shravani, eh?
Shravani.
Shravani. Hi Shravani. Among the boys, who's come? Suresh, he's not come.
Yes, sir. I'm there, sir.
Hi Suresh, where are you? In library or at home?
Library, sir.
Library. I knew it. I knew it. And who's with you, Shreya? No, I'm sorry. Okay. Keep it up. Keep it up. Excellent. Okay. Now let's move. See, now what we've planned for the session is that we will go through the revision material which has been given by the revision capsule, which has been given by the institute. It's around 30 pages, right, Shreya? Correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And there is one material which has been sent to you, which are all the previous revision test papers and previous papers chapter wise. We won't be able to complete that because that is huge. But in that material, there are 2 or 3 things which are not included, which is the last year's November's paper, right? November's paper, the mock question paper and the recent RTP. So those are not included. So that we'll try and cover today. And Shreya will share those documents with you all. But otherwise, the entire other material which has been sent to you all has covered everything chapter wise, right, Shreya?
Yes,
It's
sir.
covered. Yeah, it's covered chapter wise. So it's a very exhaustive material. We had prepared it around a year back, me and Sandhyaka. So we had done it. It is very comprehensive and it's a very nice revision material for you all. Correct or no? Only thing is that the latest things have not been included. So let's go straight away into chapter 1 of strategic management. You all are now feeling very confident of EIS. So now let's make it. You all are now going to get 40 on 15 EIS. Might we can get another 40 on 15. Strategic management. Okay. Shreya, can you share the screen? Who's sharing the screen?
Yes, sir. I've shared the screen.
Okay, then we'll start reading.
Yes, sir. So first chapter.
And Shreya, also one more small help I need from your side.
Yes, sir.
See this batch, no, which I'm teaching for
The new batch.
the new batch. Correct or no? The new batch, the girl who's reading it is
Ramya.
Ramya. So in case you have marked anything in the previous material or you used to read the whole thing, you used to skip out certain things, right?
Yes, sir. But while reading only, I used to figure out which was important.
Okay. And that okay. You never marked it out, right? Okay.
No, sir.
Okay, fine. I thought you marked it out. I thought if you marked it out, you could send her the copy because she reads the whole thing, right? And the way you read, no, that style, that andas, nobody has, Yashreya. You are super, correct?
Yes, sir.
Hmm. Hmm.
Thank you.
Come on now, Shreya, start.
Chapter 1, Introduction to Strategic Management.
Hmm.
So under business policy, originally it was tagged back to 1911. In 1969, American Assembly of Collegiate Schools of Business made the course a mandatory requirement for business schools. And the definition: the study of the functions and responsibilities of senior management, the crucial problems that affect success in the total enterprise, and the decisions that determine the direction of the organization and shape its future. This was given by Christensen. And the importance of strategic management are
Okay, now just listen here. The strategic management was first called business policy. So it started in 1911, then it became a compulsory course in 1969. After business policy, it was called long-term planning, strategic planning, and then it became strategic management. And business policy, I told you, is an overall parameter within which decisions have to be taken. And those parameters like credit sales for only 15 days, or we will not recruit people who are not graduates. All these are policies. They are parameters or boundaries within it. And that is framed by the top level management. So business policy originated into strategic management. How did it originate into strategic management? Because strategy is a term which is borrowed from the Latin word strategos, which is the art of the battlefield, and it was considered that your competitors are like your enemies. The only difference is that previously kings used to go to war, now businesses go to war, and the enemy is the other business, and the battlefield is the market share. Okay, so we understood that. Okay, now the importance of strategic management, most of it I've done, but just let her read it out quickly in case there's anything which has to be covered, I'll tell you.
Yes, it tends to emphasize on the rational analytical aspect of strategic management. It enables a manager for handling general management responsibilities effectively. It presents a framework for understanding strategic decision making in organizations.
Okay, so you'll understood all this framework for understanding decision making, general rational way of taking, and I told you what is strategic decision making, choosing between alternative courses of action. So whenever you're writing the paper, I've already told you this when I gave you the paper, when I gave you the tips for your exam. Always, what did I tell you? Have an opening, body, and conclusion. So if they ask you what is strategic decision making, explain its importance. First, give the opening. What is strategic decision making? It is a decision comes from the Latin word deciso, which means to cut. Decision making is choosing between alternative courses of action. Then that's the introduction. Then give the body importance 1, 2, 3, 4 point, and then you conclude decision making. And wherever you see in the points, you can give an example. Give an example. For example, the strategic decision taken by Reliance to enter into the mobile phone market through Geo was very successful, correct or no? Like that, give an example wherever you can. I'm not telling you to waste more time, but if you write that example just in 10 words extra or something, you generally get an edge over your rivals who are writing a paper. So remember, opening, body, conclusion, OBC. Your opening, then your body, and your conclusion. And I've already told you, please give an example for everything wherever you can. Okay, continue.
Concept of management. Management is an influence process to make things happen, to gain command over phenomena, to induce and direct events and people in a particular manner. The term is often used as a key group in an organization in charge of its affairs, as a set of interrelated functions and processes carried out by the management of an organization to attain its objectives.
Okay, and whenever you have terms which are a little different, try and underline 3-4 lines which gives the gist. You might find this very tough to learn. So learn it in your own words. If they ask you what is management, you can write it in your own words. But if they say define something, try and find an author over there and define it. But remember, when we studied management, I didn't make it so complicated. I told you management has 3 basic connotations. One, management as a subject or a discipline. So you're studying strategic management. Second, as a set of people who run the enterprise, the management of Titan or the management of the college. They are the set of board of directors, etc., who run the business. And the third is the influencing process, the set of activities which are carried out to run the business in an effective manner. And I gave you the term POTSCOB, if you remember: planning, organizing, staffing, directing, coordinating, controlling, reporting, and budgeting, right? Yes or no? All of you
Yes.
remember? And directing itself has 4 sub parts: leading, supervision, motivation, and communication. Got it? So all these form the functions of management. So you have to remember the 5 fingers: planning, organizing, directing, staffing, controlling, coordinating, reporting. And coordinating is the essence of management. Reporting and budgeting are subparts of management, which we did later on. Okay, continue. Next. And the
Concept of
combination of strategy and management is strategic management. Okay, continue.
Concept of strategy. The
Hmm.
common thread among the organization's activities and product markets that defines the essential nature of business that the organization has or planned to be in future. Given by Igor H. Ansoff.
And so forth.
A unified, comprehensive, and integrated plan designed to assure that the basic objectives of the enterprise are achieved. William F. Gray.
Okay, this is a concept, and I made you write down one definition which was there in the study material, correct? A strategy is a long-range blueprint of the organization's what it wants to do, where it wants to, what it wants to be, where it wants to, what it wants to do, and where it wants to go. Correct? Remember? I made you underline that. I told you the 3 W's: what, where, and what it wants to be, what it wants to do, and where it wants to go. The desired direction, destination, and direction of the company. The 3 Ds, correct? The desired destination, direction. And I made you all write down that definition, and I told you that is also a very comprehensive definition of. It's there, right, in your material, wherever you'll have highlighted it or underlined it. Got it? So you use those definitions. This also you can write one. The second definition sounds better, and the other one is the unified direction. So strategy is basically long range. It defines where it company wants to go. Continue. Yes, heroine.
Yes, sir. So under the concept of strategy, strategy is consciously considered and flexibly designed scheme of corporate intent and action. It responds to dynamic and hostile external forces, unravel complexity and to reduce uncertainty of the environment, exploit opportunities and meet potential threats, pursuit of mission, objectives, and achieve goals, long-range blueprint of desired image, direction, and
That is the
destination.
one. That's the one I wanted you to learn.
Bring a sense of dynamic direction, focus, and cohesence.
Cohesion. Cohesion means getting everybody together. What getting everybody
together? Strategy, partly proactive and partly reactive. A company's strategy is typically a blend of partly proactive and partly reactive. Proactive strategy, proactive actions on the part of managers to improve the company's market position and financial performance. Reactive strategy, reactions to unanticipated developments and fresh market conditions.
So you understood why is strategy called partly proactive and partly reactive? Proactive is it makes a long-range blueprint of the desired image, direction, and destination. But during the strategy implementation, if there are any unexpected turns, twists, environmental changes, you have to be
reactive.
Tata becomes the sponsor of the Indian Premier League cricket. It's a strategy. They have taken the contract for the next 10 years to increase their market share. But suppose there is a drug scandal in the Indian Premier League after 2 years or 3 years. Tata will have to be reactive and try and distance itself from the brand so that its name doesn't get tarnished. Yes or no? Or if there's a match fixing scan, because Tata stands for value. So it has to be reactive. So the strategy has to be both proactive as well as
reactive.
So now it's called the Tata IPL, right? They are the main sponsors. Vivo was the previous sponsor. Now it is Tata. Okay.
Yes.
For all those who know that there is something called Indian Premier League. Girls, you all know what is Indian Premier League?
Yes, sir.
What is it? It's
Let's
one
see.
20 over thing where they have all these 10 teams which will play with each other. Chennai Super Kings, Catherine. Hey, where is she? She's not answering only. Full, she's gone. She just logged in and all. I haven't. Okay, let's go to the next one.
Yes, sir.
Hmm.
So a company's actual strategy is partly planned and partly reactive.
That we did, yeah.
Company experiences know-how, resource strength and weakness and competitive capabilities. Plan strategy, that is new initiatives plus ongoing strategy features continued from prior periods. Reactive strategy, adaptive reactions to changing circumstances. Both form actual company strategy.
Wonderful. Next.
Strategic management, process of developing a strategic vision, setting objectives, crafting a strategy, implementation and evaluation of strategy, and initiating corrective adjustments where deemed appropriate. Concept. Managerial process to develop vision, set objectives, craft and implement and evaluate strategy, initiate corrective adjustments where deemed appropriate. The objective is to create competitive advantage so that the company can outperform the competitors in order to have dominance over the market, to guide the company successfully through all changes in the environment.
Okay, understand that the combination of the managerial process into the field of strategy. Strategy is only a long range blueprint, but not only the long range blueprint, which is the formulation of the strategy, but implementation of the strategy, controlling the strategy and seeing that it is effectively controlled, implemented, and it achieves its desired goal is called as strategic management. So the merger of management into the field of strategy is called as strategic management. So strategic management in itself contains strategy, but in itself contains strategy. Okay.
Importance of strategic management. Defines the goals and missions, helps the organization to develop certain core competencies and competitive advantages, helps organization to be proactive instead of reactive in shaping its future, provides framework to all major decisions of an enterprise, prepares the organization to face the future.
Okay, just
Serves as
one
a
minute. Somebody's
part-
come, sir. Somebody's come. Just hold on. I'll come back. Just hold on. You heard the ring, right? Just hold on. Okay, Shreya. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, continue. So
So
the importance of strategic management, right? I'll keep drinking water on the way, so
I'll
don't
just
get, yeah, continue reading. So you all got this, no, goals, vision, strategic decision making. Have you all understood that? I'd given you all examples for each of that when I taught the subject. Have you written it down?
yes, sir.
Hmm.
The last
Continue.
importance is to enhance the longevity of the business.
What do you mean by longevity of the firm? Those companies which make strategies, they last for 25, 30 years. But those which don't make strategy get wiped out in 5 or 10.
Yes.
Very true. Next.
Limitations of strategic management. Environment is highly complex and turbulent. It is difficult to understand the complex environment and exactly pinpoint how it will shape up in future. Strategic management is a time-consuming process. Strategic management is a costly process. It adds a lot of expenses to an organization. Competition is unpredictable. It is difficult to clearly estimate the competitive responses to a firm's strategy.
Only 4, huh?
Yes, sir.
I made you all remember this, I think so, by telling you to learn one formula, C cubed T. 3 C's and 1 T. Complexity, competition, and there was one more. Costly. Correct? And the T is time consuming. What it is?
Time consuming.
So remember, make these small mnemonics. It will help you to remember things. Otherwise, there are 100 things which you'll remember. Otherwise, you'll forget of everything. Remember, you clear intermediate, it's equivalent to BCom. So once you clear intermediate, in case you want to do MCom straight away, you can do MCom. Or if you want to go abroad, you can go abroad. Like our friend Rashmi did. Rashmi is one of the students of your club, not your batch, the 2 batches before, I think. Rashmi Pokle, she couldn't clear final, poor thing. So she did her MS in finance in UK. And her CA intermediate was considered as equivalent to BCom. So now she's doing MS in finance in Berkeley in UK. So she sends mails over there, how the so cold, it's so there, even in summer, the temperature won't go beyond 18, 20 degrees centigrade. And even in summer, the sun sets over there at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock in the night. Like the sun doesn't set only. And in winter, it sets off by 2 o'clock in the afternoon in London. Okay. Now let's come to that. So basically, if you get this, not try and remember mnemonic, C cube T, make something which will make you remember these points. Okay. So this was C cube T, complexity, costly, and what was the competition and time consuming. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Strategic levels of organizations. 3 main levels: corporate, business, and functional. Under corporate level, CEO, board of directors, other senior executives, and corporate staff. That is they are in the head office. Business level, division level managers and staff. Division and division B. Functional level, functional managers.
Okay, this I've explained 100 times. Corporate level is the topmost for the entire group, like Godrej Group. Then business level is for Godrej, let's say soaps. They'll have a separate strategy, and within Godrej soaps, if they have a marketing division, there'll be a functional strategy. So I'm not explaining that. Let's move on.
Strategic management in government and not-for-profit organizations. There are many organizations that do not have commercial objectives of making profits. They are set up for social, charitable, or educational purposes. There are not-for-profit and government organizations that outperform many private firms in managing their affairs, often function as a monopoly, produce a product or service that offers little or no measurability of performance, dependent on outside financing.
So I explained this, yeah. So yeah, and under the strategy is not only for business and profit-making organizations like a chemical company or a food company. It is also for non-profit organizations like education institutions. Cambridge has a strategic plan of how it's going to expand its presence in the next 5 years. Harvard has a business plan. It's also for government agencies. BBMP has a plan, Bangalore 2030. You might have seen they had a conference last week, correct? Or a religious and charitable organization like ISKCON has a plan of how it's going to expand its what is that yojana which they have in there? They give free midday meals, no, Akshay Patra, to smaller cities across the country. All these companies, even though they don't want to make profit, have to embark on a strategic plan. Correct? No? So that is nothing but really ridiculous. We finished one chapter in half an hour. We have 8 chapters plus a revision test paper. Shreya.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's okay. Whatever we finish, if we don't finish the revision test paper, even if we finish this, it's more than those revision test paper and all. Shreya will send you that has answers and all. No,
Yes.
it has answers, so don't have to panic. But I wanted to do one case study with you and show you how they write the answer. We'll do one case study and just show them how to write the answer, because later on, if we don't do that, see one question paper, no, which has a question with a. They generally ask 1 or 2 case study. No, remember I told you how to write a case study. Facts of the
Yes.
case, analysis, conclusion, FAC. Correct, even though
Yes.
they've not done it in the answer, but you can do it in that way. Just take out one question from the case study or something. Just see, from the revision test paper or mock paper or.
Yes. Sir, from the present RTP and new RTP,
Yeah.
under corporate level strategies chapter,
Uh,
there's one case study.
read it.
Racers Limited manufactures bicycles. Until recently, it has adopted a differentiation strategy, offering high quality bicycles which Racers Limited sells at a high profit margin. In recent years, Racers Limited has entered a period of decline due to the market becoming flooded with cheaper, high quality bicycles from abroad where labor costs are lower. Racers Limited has therefore decided to adjust its strategy and adopt a focused approach, targeting its bicycles towards professional athletics.
Professional?
Athletes.
Okay.
This will allow Racers Limited to continue earning high margins through the size of its potential market though the size of its potential market will likely fall. Identify and explain the need of adopting this strategy by Racers Limited to manage decline.
Okay. So remember this in corporate, we had done the 3 main strategies of Michael Porter. What were the 3 strategies? Cost leadership, differentiation, and focus. And then we had something called as best cost provider, right? Yes or no?
So that was business level strategy. So those were business level strategies.
Then what is this? This also
This
looks
is
like a
corporate
business.
level strategy.
But in this, there is nothing of the differentiation, focus.
Differentiation is under expansion strategy, and focus.
How do you know this corporate level only? This looks like a business level strategy only.
Sir, under the corporate level strategies chapter, this question was asked.
Whatever it comes, but we had done 3 strategies: differentiation, cost leadership, differentiation, and focus under business level. This looks like that. Where is in the grand strategy, corporate level strategies, we had expansion, retrenchment, combination, and what is that? Stability. Remember?
Yes, sir. Yes. But for now, they were following differentiation strategy. So that comes under corporate level strategy. Sorry, sir. No, business level strategy.
See the answer which they've given. Let's see.
Yes.
Then we'll see. I'll see whether the answer is correct or not, and then I'll tell you what I have to add to it.
Yes, sir. Just a second.
Yeah. This is the question. These are the type of questions. So first you'll have to write facts of the case. What will you write? The facts of the case. Racer Limited is trying to move from a differentiation strategy to a focus strategy, since the differentiation strategy is no longer viable because of high quality, cheap bicycles. Correct or no? Analysis of the case, the viability of moving to a faction, and then to give the conclusion. Okay, so write facts of the case in 2 lines, analysis of the case in 8 or 10 lines, and then the conclusion. Sai Rishika, this is in differentiation and focus comes in business level, right?
Yes, sir. But
They've given
I
it
shall
under.
read the answer.
Okay, read the answer. Write the answer sometimes.
Racers Limited has adopted turnaround strategy. This involves
Turnaround. Arre Rama. Okay.
It involves Racers Limited repositioning itself in the market in an attempt to once again gain competitive advantage.
Mhm.
Turnaround is needed when an enterprise performance
Okay, this is a
deteriorates.
turnaround strategy. Okay. Wonderful. Yeah, I didn't think of it in that way because they mentioned that the profits have been coming down and so they are using the
Decline due to
retrenchment
market.
strategy. Huh? What?
Racers has entered a period of decline due to market becoming flooded with cheaper, high quality bicycles.
That's the facts of the case. Then
So turnaround is needed when an enterprise's performance deteriorates to a point that it needs a radical change in direction in strategy, and possibly in structure and culture as well. It is a highly targeted effort to return an organization to profitability and increase positive cash flows to a sufficient level. It is used when both threats and weaknesses adversely affect the health of the organization so much that its basic survival is difficult. The overall goal of turnaround strategy is to return an underperforming or distressed company to normalcy in terms of acceptable levels of profitability, solvency, liquidity, and cash flow. To achieve its objectives, turnaround strategy must reverse causes of distress, resolve the financial crisis, achieve a
they are
rapid
given
improvement.
that they're given steps in turnaround strategy in your study material. If you remember that, it's there, right?
Yes, sir.
So you can write the steps. The very confusing question, huh? It sounded like differentiation and focus. Read that thing again. Where have they mentioned that it is suffering huge losses and all that? Just read the.
Yes, sir. Races Limited manufactures bicycles
Okay,
until
that and
recent.
under because of the recent time flooding of bicycles. Then
It was selling at high profit margin.
uh-huh.
In recent years, Races Limited has entered a period of decline due to the market becoming flooded with cheaper, high quality bicycles
Okay.
from
Might
abroad.
be only that you'll have to read into that one word, a decline. Okay. But otherwise, it looked like shifting from differentiation to focus. But you can add both. They can't cut marks for this, right? So you'll write it's a turnaround strategy, but focus strategy focuses on this, right? So it's trying to move. But good. It was mentioned over there in the RTP, it comes under corporate strategy. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Sir, RTPs are designed where under each lesson,
Heading
few questions will be there.
present that. Okay. Okay.
So
Continue
there is
reading.
another question from
Okay, but see, whenever they have written this, okay, they have written just the facts and analysis, but you will also have to write a conclusion. After you write the steps, when you write the facts of the case, the analysis, what they have given you, write a conclusion. Therefore, it is advisable for Razor to move into a focus strategy, as this would be the best way in which it could turn around its organization, seeing that the profitability and does not get very badly hit by the size of the market. The size of the market should be critical because the professional athletes, there shouldn't be too few professional athletes, which does not allow it to turn around. Got it or no?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sir, so revision.
Yeah. So remember, I did wanted to do one case study, facts of the case, analysis, and
conclusion.
Body
Okay. Your mind is full middled up now. Opening body conclusion is for a normal answer. For a case study, it's facts of the case you'll mention. Under that, you write 2-3 lines. Then you write analysis of the case,
and
write 7 or 8 lines, and then you write conclusion. Shreya, you're doing too much practical subjects, I think.
No.
All theory is gone out of your head. What has that this one done? Nara sir, in 2 days, full technology is put into your brain. Huh? Yes.
Sorry, sir.
You'll understood chapter 2.
Dynamics of competitive strategy.
This is the most important chapter.
Yes.
It has so much core competency, competitive advantage, those What are those matrices, no?
Yes, sir.
Read the
Competitive
heading.
strategy.
Hmm.
An organization must identify its position related to the competitors in the market. Competitive strategy generates competitive advantage, increase the loyalty of customers, and beat competition. A competitive strategy consists of attract customers, withstand competitive pressures, strengthen an organization's market position. Having a competitive advantage is necessary for a firm to compete in market. Competitive landscape.
Okay, now what is competitive? I'm not going into the headache of all this. There will be steps also. What is competitive landscape? Any of you all remember? Whenever a company wants to decide on a competitive strategy, it has to decide who are its competitors, what are their businesses, whether they are direct or indirect, what are their strengths and weaknesses, and derive a complete conclusion of the entire competitive landscape. So, and bird's eye view of all the competitors in the market. Bird's eye views from top, when you see, everything will be there, right? Is called as competitive landscape. Understand or no? So they'll ask you terms like what is competitive landscape and all. Okay. Read.
Yes, sir. So steps are to identify the competitor, understand the competitors, determine the strengths of the competitors, determine the weakness of the competitors, put all the information together.
So they remember these steps in the finding out a competitive landscape. Next.
Strategic analysis. Proper diagnosis of the company's situation is necessary when managerial preparation for deciding on a sound long-term direction, setting appropriate objectives, and crafting a winning strategy. The analytical sequence is form strategic appraisal of the external and internal situation to evaluation of strategies to choice of strategy. Two most important situational considerations are industry and competitive conditions and an organization's own competitive capabilities, resources, internal strengths, weaknesses, and market position.
Okay, so remember analysis breaking down the entire organizational environment and internal environment into smaller parts. Remember the gist of this is competitive analysis, but remember the gist of overall strategic analysis is the SWOT analysis, strengths, weaknesses which are internal, and opportunities and threats which are external. And competitive analysis is basically analyzing the competitor. So how do you do it? Industry and competitive analysis. I told you what is the industry. The industry is the collection of the firms, right? So whether the industry is doing well, software industry, let's say, whether it's doing well, what are the competitors, what are the margins, what are the government restrictions. So that entire process of analyzing the industry is called as industry. And which is the most important tool in industry analysis? Remember one tool which you all studied in chapter 5 or 4 or 6, I don't remember. Michael Porter's 5 force model, determining the competitive forces within the industry. Remember?
Yes, sir.
Whether an industry is good or worth entering into or not. Remember, bargaining power of buyers, bargaining power of suppliers, threat of new entrants, threat of substitutes, and number of rivals. Correct or no? Two threats, two bargaining powers, and one. That's the most potent tool. They in the second chapter they didn't describe it much, but in a later on chapter, I think so 5 or 6, they did Michael Porter's 5 force model in detail. Prajwal has come. Huh?
Who, sir?
What's her name? Prajwala, no?
Prajwala is there.
Prajwala, you're there?
No,
She's
sir.
not. She's not there. Okay. She used to be the one, no? Used to ask questions and all.
Yes.
Sudanwa is there. Sudanwa?
Sir,
How are you, Sudanwa? Studying properly?
yes, sir.
Oh. You're not doing articleship or anything, no? You've taken leave, right?
Yes, sir. I'm not doing articleship.
Okay, so then you can concentrate full day. Okay. Continue reading. Keep it up.
Issues to
Slowly.
consider.
Yeah.
Issues to consider for strategic analysis and time, short-term and long-term, strategic risk, internal and external.
Oh, remember
External
this talk? Yeah, this is that. Remember, I discussed with you risk. Just leave the risk is when there is an incompatibility between the internal strengths and weaknesses and the external opportunities. And if there's a mismatch between the strengths and weaknesses and the opportunities and threats, it is called as risk. And the risk can be both internal as well as.
external.
And there was that diagram which we had done, no? That what is that quadrants 4 were there, right? Short term, long term, internal, and
External.
so go through that. Next.
So under short-term external, errors in interpreting the environment cause strategic failure. Long-term external, changes in environment leads to obsolescence of strategy. Short-term internal, organizational capacity is enabled to cope up with strategic demands. Long-term internal, inconsistencies with the strategy are developed on account of changes in internal capacities and preferences.
Okay. Next.
Next, framework of strategic analysis. External analysis, customer analysis, competitor analysis, market analysis, and environmental analysis. Under internal analysis, performance and determinants analysis.
Discriminant.
Determinants.
Determinant.
Yes, strategy identification and selection. Identify strategic alternatives, select strategy, implement the operating plan, and review the strategies.
Okay, and I also told you wherever possible, draw diagrams, like they've drawn charts and diagrams, right? Because it helps the person who's correcting your paper to understand that you understood the concept in a better manner.
Industry and competitive analysis. Issues in industry and competitive analysis. Dominant economic features of the industry.
Okay.
I'll just read out the main points.
Read out the main points only.
Nature and strength of the competition. Triggers of change.
Okay, wait. I want to know what is triggers of change. Anybody? There are certain key factors which affect the long-term prospects of that industry, which can change the course of the industry, which can have a very, very big impact on the way in which the industry will perform. Those are called as triggers of change. For example, the advent of the internet and mobile applications led to the change of the retail industry. It moved from offline to online. Right. The coming of the pandemic changed the entire scope of education from being only a face-to-face teaching to e-learning, correct or no? Or the change in the development of lithium-ion technology led to the change of the vehicle or automobile industry from only being a petrol or fuel-driven industry to a e-vehicle. In the next 10, 12 years, you won't even find petrol cars. In the next 15 years, they say. Correct or no? So that is nothing but now 80% of the cars are petrol, right? In another 15 years, there'll be 80% of the cars will be electrical. So those are triggers of change. They had given one case study also like that. They had given one question. What do you see the triggers of change in the following industries? A, education, B, something like that. So you'll have to see, you'll have to use your general knowledge and answer such question. I think so. It's the back of your textbook also, the same question which I asked you. Okay, go to the next one.
Yes. Strategic group mapping. Likely strategic
you all know what a strategic group mapping. Anybody can try and tell me? Sai Rishika, you want to try? Remember, this is competitive analysis where you, instead of having a separate strategy for each competitor, what will you do? You'll mark them on 2 parameters on the x-axis and y-axis, and then you'll make small groups of competitors based on those characteristics, and you'll have one strategy for each group of companies. For what is each group of companies? They've drawn the diagram or something like that, Shreya? They had given one diagram in your study material. And they have given also steps in strategic group mapping. Okay, move that. So it's basically competitive analysis, right? We've done this earlier. Remember, we had told mobile phones, you can classify them on the basis of quality and price. Low quality, low price, lava, carbon. Low quality, high price, Xiaomi. High quality, high price, Apple, Samsung. High quality, low price will be Redmi and all that. And then you, let's say you are a company like Oppo. So you will have a strategy for each of these 4 groups. Correct or no?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Okay,
Yes.
Shreya. Next.
Likely strategic moves of rivals. Key success factors.
Okay, what is
profit and
KSFs?
financial-
Remember, and they may ask you a acronym. Acronym is KSF. So you have to remember key success factors. What are key success factors? Anybody remembers? Who's that Shetty over there? One Shetty is there, no? Ananya Shetty, yeah? There's some Ananya Shetty, right? Shreya, in your class?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Hi, Ananya.
Hello, sir.
You never spoke to me when I used to teach you also. What happened, Ananya? You understood what I taught or you didn't come to the classes?
Okay.
You came,
I was
huh?
there.
Hi. Okay, Ananya, what do you think is this key success factor? There are 1 or 2 factors in each industry which determine. Just 1 minute, I'll just 10 minutes. Pratyush. Okay. 1 minute, just. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, continue. So there are certain key success factors. For example, I told you for the airline industry, it is punctuality and the price of the ticket. For the apparel industry, it is the style and the comfort. There are 2 or 3 factors which determine the success of each industry. For banking, it is the customer service and the rates of interest. So if you are running a business, you have to excel in those key success factors. A bank might have a great physical infrastructure, but if the rates of interest are very high and the service is poor, it will not succeed. What it will not?
Success.
An apparel price may be very low, but if it doesn't have style and comfort, nobody is going to
Buy.
So that is called KSFs. Okay, go to the next one.
Prospects and financial attractiveness of industry.
Okay, this way.
So those were the points. Sir. Next comes core competence. C.K. Prahlad and Gary Hamel identified major core competencies in 3 areas: competitor differentiation, customer value, and application.
This is, remember, core competency given by C.K. Prahlad. Then I made you remember this DVA, right? Differentiation, value, and
Application.
what is differentiation? It should be differentiated from its competitors, right? Value is what is the, I told you what is value. Value is performance minus expectation or benefit minus cost. What? Performance minus expectation or benefit minus? Yes or no? Am I audible?
Yes.
So whenever you have more performance than the expectations of the customers and you're adding value, what is this application? Anybody remembers? Where you can apply that particular business model of differentiation and value across different geographies, across different parts of the company. It is called, I gave you the example, how McDonald's can apply the same burger across different parts of the world. The taste will not change, correct or no? Or for example, if you see Subway sandwiches, so they have the same Subway sandwiches sold in America, Australia, India, UK. So that is nothing but your application. So if it can differentiate, it can give value and it can be applied across geographies and across the parts of the company itself. Human resource finance, everybody knows about the application of it. Then it is called application. Okay, remember this. Next.
So next
Just don't go to the, don't read every part of it because we won't be able to complete.
Yes, sir. I'm just reading the pointers. how to build core competencies. First, building core competencies, competitive advantage and strategic competitiveness above average returns. Core competencies, capabilities, and resources. 4 criteria for sustainable advantages of sustainable advantage: rare, valuable, costly to imitate, non-substitutable, value chain analysis, what to do in-house, what to outsource.
Remember, I told you to remember one rava idli, vara dos sambar. What did I say? Vara, rava idli, and sambar. Rare and non-imitable is rava idli. Value is vada, and SS sambar is non-substitutable, right? I made you remember this way only, no?
Yes, sir.
Vara, rava, idli, and VRIS. I made you remember, correct? No? So you will remember these 4 characteristics to attain sustainable advantage.
Advantage.
Okay. Okay. Now just hold on, Shreya, for a minute. You will have to
Yes.
wait for 2 or 3 minutes. I'll close all the doors and windows because all mosquitoes are coming inside my house, and I'll
Yes.
just come back. Okay. Just hold on. Am I audible now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Please. Yeah, continue.
So next we have value chain analysis.
Okay, all remember those primary activities and support activities. 5 primary activities. Value chain is basically whether your process is adding more value than that of the competitor, right? So for example, if the production for you to make 1 kg of Chawanprash is 200 rupees, and the same by a competitor like Patanjali is 180 rupees, that means it's adding value of 20 rupees in its value chain. If Hindustan Unilever has a brand name and it can sell, let's say, Lakme lipstick for 150 rupees per lipstick, and you as a competitor, let's say Tips and Toes, can sell it for only 120 rupees because of a brand name, the value of the brand of Hindustan Unilever through its marketing can add 30 rupees to its. So the entire process of adding value, which is more than the competitors, either by reducing cost or by increasing the sales, is called as value chain analysis. Remember, we did 5 primary activities and 4
Support.
what are the primary activities? Operations, inbound logistics, outbound logistics, marketing and sales, and
Service.
yeah, service. And then the support activities, human resource, infrastructure,
Technology and
procurement, and
only 4.
so hit P. I told you, I don't know how I remember like that only. PHIT fit or PHIT P hit or correct, no? So that is called as
Next we have competitive advantage.
competitive advantage. I told you when you apply core competencies over a period of time, it leads to again, yeah, continue. Fast.
Yes. Competitive advantage allows a firm to gain an edge over rivals when competing. It is a set of unique features of a company and its products that are perceived by a target market as significant and superior to the competition. Competitive advantages and the differences they create in the firm's performance are often strongly related to the resources firms hold and how they are managed. Resources and capabilities are not inherently valuable, but they create value when the firm can use them to perform certain activities that result in a competitive advantage.
Okay, so you remember resources and capabilities. Resources, what it has, physical infrastructure, etc. Capabilities are the skills which are possessed by a firm is called as, for example, it has capabilities of distribution or it has capabilities of technology, correct or no? But it has human resources. It has physical resources or financial resources. So when you combine resources and capability, it leads to a competitive advantage.
Next, we have value creation.
Hmm.
The concept of value creation was introduced primarily for providing products and services to the customers with more worth. Value is measured by the product's features, quality, availability, durability, performance, and by its services for which competitors are willing to pay.
Okay, I told you, right? The benefit minus the cost is called as its value. So let's say the benefit you're getting from the product is 200 rupees, but the cost is only 150. The consumer surplus or the value is 50 rupees, right?
Yes. Portfolio analysis.
Okay, you all know what is portfolio analysis. The series of businesses or the types of products owned by a company is called as its
Portfolio analysis.
do you all remember? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah. So for example, the portfolio of let's say a company like Procter and Gamble will be Pantene, the shampoos which it owns, that is Pantene, and Heads and Shoulders, correct? It's soaps like Camay and all that, right? Then it's the washing powder like Tide and okay, so that Ariel. So that is all. The washing powder is one portfolio, the shampoos is one portfolio, the soaps are one portfolio. So the entire set of businesses owned by a business is called as
Portfolio analysis.
portfolio analysis. Okay.
So should I read?
Not required. And then in that we did experience curve, we did product
life.
life cycle, we did one more thing was there. Whatever. Just read the headings. If anything you all didn't understand, you ask me.
Sir, under product life cycle, we have Boston's consulting group
No, yeah. So these are again, these are strategies for post. This is matrices for invest. So BCG matrix, if you remember, they classified into two things: market share and market growth. Market share will add value in terms of cash inflows. What in terms of cash inflow? So the more the market share, the more the cash inflow. Market growth rate is the rate at which the market is growing. So if the market is growing, you have to add new capacity. So the more the market growth, the more the cash outflow. So based on this, you have low and high market share, market growth. You have cash cows, which are high market share, low market growth. So cash inflows more, and the I'd given you the example of Cadbury's. Remember? Yes or no? Right. So for example, ITC, we'll take ITC. For ITC, that Arshivard is a cash cow, and even those cigarettes are the cash cow. Correct or no? For ITC, the stars will be high market share and high growth rate will be the Pebbles chocolates and all, which are growing at a very
high rate.
For ITC, the question mark is B natural because there's so much competition. There's a growth rate for fruit juices and all, but their market share is much less compared to Tropicana and all the other fruit, real and all that, right? To know. And the dogs for ITC, I don't know which are the dogs. Which are the dogs for ITC, Shreya? Which are the products which don't sell much and they don't have much market share? The technology and all, no? ITC technology and all that, right?
Yes, sir. Right.
They're competing with TCS and all that. They have low market share and the growth rate is also not very
High.
high.
Next,
Yeah.
we have
Just
Ansar's
hold on
chocolate.
1 minute. Just hold on 1 minute. Just 1 minute. Just Am I audible now?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
So BCG matrix, we did that. So you'll have to draw the matrix, and they might ask you. We had done a question also on that. Which of them is cow? They might give you a matrix. Which okay. Let's go to the next one.
Yes, sir.
Fast. Yeah.
The next one was ADL matrix.
Okay, all know this. No, Arthur did. One is on the stage of industrial growth and business strength. So dominant. So this is the only matrix which they won't ask you to draw because it's a 20 square matrix. There are 5 industrial things and 5 industrial positions, right? With business strength was dominant, strong, favorable, tenable, and weak. And if you see the industrial, it's embryonic, growth, mature, and decline. So it's a 5 into 4 matrix. So it's they might ask you what are the 5 stages of industrial growth in the ADL matrix or something, but it's very unlikely that they'll ask you to draw the whole matrix, correct? And then we'll go to the next one, which is the Igor answer. Okay, General Electric matrix is also called the stoplight matrix. And also remember in the BCG matrix, there were 4 strategies: build, hold, harvest, and divest. In this one, green, they made it a little, they changed the market share to market attractiveness, and they changed the market growth rate to, I'm sorry, the market growth rate to market attractiveness, and they changed the market share to business strength. What to business strength? And while that was a 2 into 2 matrix, this is a 3 into 3 matrix, and it gives you color coding: green to go ahead, that is build, orange to hold, and red to harvest or divest. So please remember this one. This is also important. They might ask you, and they might ask you the difference between the BCG matrix and the GE matrix. Okay. Yeah. Shreya Shrikant.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. SWOT analysis.
Okay, SWOT analysis I'm not doing, but you all know this. Based on the SWOT analysis, there is one more thing which is important, which is the TOES matrix. If you know Eames Eldridge, remember the TOES matrix we did? SO, and I told you S is maximize the strength and opportunities also maximize the opportunities. Minimize mini maxi, right? Remember I told you minimize the threats and minimize the weaknesses. What? Minimize the threats and minimize the weaknesses, correct? You all remember or no? So we have maxi, mini, maxi, mini, and maxi, right? Strengths, opportunities, ST, SO, WO, W, T. And I gave you examples for each of them. So please write down all these examples. If you understand that, the TOES matrix is also very important, right? Everything is important because I don't know what's coming. So whatever. Understand?
Next.
By the time I finish, I'll tell you everything is important. Okay. So globalization. Who sets the papers? God knows. Some fellow will sit, and I heard they set 3 papers, and the person who's setting it also doesn't know whether his paper is
Select.
And you know what they do? They set 1 paper now for June, and they keep the 2 other papers for November. So out of that, again they'll ask one more person to set, and they'll shuffle those 3 papers, and they'll again. Okay, now coming to the next one. What was the next heading?
Globalization.
Okay, globalization, you all know what is globalization, right? And for a company, when does a company go global? I remember I told you that ORS, when it has a, oh, not ORS, what was it? Yeah, resources, strategy, and what was that? When it has an common organizational, when it has access to common strategy, when it has a common access to a common pool of resources, and when there is common ownership. What there is common? If it satisfies these 3, then it's a global company. What it is? A global company. And I told you the difference between a multinational and a transnational. Does anybody remember? What's the difference between a multinational and a Coin. A multinational has centralized ownership and all the decisions are taken at the head office, while it has subsidiaries in different countries. For example, Microsoft. All decisions are taken at the higher level and they only have subsidiaries. But a transnational has separate entities in different countries which take local decisions which are completely separate from their, like Nestle. So Nestle India products are totally different from Nestle Europe products are totally different from or McDonald's. Those are transnational companies who adapt themselves to the local conditions are transnational, who do not have a common, which do not adapt themselves to the, are called as multinational. Okay.
Yes, sir. So that was second chapter. Next we go to third chapter.
Next go. Okay, and in this thing of globalization, we didn't do one or two topics that why do companies go global? So please go that also. That is, they usually ask that why do companies go global? Remember, we had done some 8 or 9 points of that, right? Now it's getting a little boring. Do one case study or something, no? Or receive some question from a revision test paper or something like that, so that there is some diversion.
Okay.
Just see if there's anything from the mock test paper, any question which is a little tricky or something which is different. Because
So
otherwise
there is
all of
one
them will sleep
question
off.
under business level strategies.
Okay, this one.
A business consultancy firm specializes in environment management consultancy. It advises
This is what,
clients-
from where is it come? This RTP,
business level strategy. Yes, sir. Article.
RTP, okay.
It advises client companies on how to set up environmental management accounting systems for measuring, recording, and analyzing environmental cost.
Environmental?
Cost.
Okay.
A large part of its business involves performing environmental audits to check whether companies have achieved an international assurance standard in environmental management. This is something that rival consultancy firms do not do. The firm also carries out other management consultancy projects for client, but these make up only a small portion of its total annual fee income. Identify the strategy categories by Michael Porter, which best describes the strategy of this firm.
This one is focus, right? Or differentiation. What are the three strategies by Michael Porter? Cost leadership, differentiation, and focus. So this is a management consultancy which gives you only on how to deal with the Shreya, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Read it out. Read out the answer.
Yes, sir. By concentrating mainly on the market for consultancy services in environmental management, the firm is pursuing a focus strategy. By offering audit services, which rival firms do not, this indicates a differentiation strategy within this chosen market niche.
So it's a differentiation. Remember, they've given you a chart. There is general differentiation, focus differentiation, general cost leadership, differentiated cost. Remember the diagram which they've done with this strategy? Have they drawn it or no? Remember, you'll see that if it's there in your study material, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So you draw that and you put this company there. What a management consultancy? Anybody knows? What is management consultancy? It looks like a difficult business. It's not like shampoos or perfumes. See, there are certain firms, no, like Accenture, like McKinsey. There are all these companies. They are hired by bigger companies to give consultation on certain issues. Like, for example, I have a student called Anju. Okay, she joined Mindtree and now she's in Accenture. She's a management consultant. Okay, she's just around 25, 26. She earns 60 lakhs per annum. Huh? And how does she do it? She tells they'll like Indigo is the latest client for Accenture. So Indigo will tell Accenture, we want to know which routes are profitable, which routes are non-profitable, where can we combine air flights, where can we have separate flights so that our profit is maximized and our cost is So they will give solutions. So she prepared a strategy. She said, cut all flights from Pune to Hyderabad because it's running only at 50%. Instead, have a connecting flight from Pune to Bangalore to Hyderabad. Reduce these flights. These flights are done 5 times a day, and the flight timings are very close. 11:30, you're taking one flight, and the other one is 1 o'clock. Instead of have one flight at 12:30, because both are running at 50% capacity. Like that, she gave consultancy, and Indigo cut its cost by some 1-2 crores, and this Accenture gets some 30 commission on that, right? On whatever they cut. And plus, this girl will get a commission on whatever happens. So that is called management. So this consultancy which she's talking about is environmental consultancy. And when most of the companies nowadays, they want to know whether they're leaving a carbon footprint or. So when I'm running, let's say, an apparel factory, how much of smoke is given out to the environment, correct or no? How much of the material is used out of cutting trees? So what is my carbon footprint? The lesser the carbon footprint, the more benefit is to the society. Remember, I did one in that economics with you, that carbon credits and all that. Remember that trades.
Sir? Sir?
Am I audible now?
Yes, sir.
Who muted me?
None of us, sir.
Don't record the thing while I'm going on. Suddenly I heard the thing recording in progress.
Sir, I guess you left and joined. There is some network issue. Because it doesn't come if it's just not.
Oh, I left and joined. Okay. It came recording in progress and all. Okay.
Maybe some.
Oh. Okay, never mind. Come on, let's move on. So you all understood this focus strategy. So all of y'all, we finished 2 chapters and we've done 2 case studies. So you'll have to write the facts of the case, analysis of the case, and the conclusion for the. Even though they've asked specific questions, you answer the specific questions in the analysis, and then finally give a
Conclusion.
Mega Paul. Did you sleep?
No, sir.
Okay, you're awake. Feeling sleepy?
No, sir.
If you're feeling sleepy, go wash your face and come back. Whoever's feeling sleepy, go wash your face. Otherwise, concentrate on which are the other ways of removing sleep. Anybody will pinch yourselves. How do you all, if you're feeling sleepy, how do you all get rid of sleep? Yeah, Shreya, if you sleep at 2 o'clock, no? How do you stay awake?
12 o'clock.
Huh? 12 o'clock. Huh?
Yes, sir.
When do you sleep? 2 or 2?
Not so late and also.
Huh?
Not so late, sir.
Later than 2. Huh?
Not so late, sir.
You're confusing me.
12 o'clock I sleep.
Not fixed. You don't have a fixed time for sleeping and getting up. Huh?
Not in particular, sir.
It's a little. No, you should. Otherwise, your biocycle will get affected, right? So now itself, put up your habit. How you're going to sleep for the final exams? Make it like. I'm not telling you. You need at least 6 hours of sleep somehow in the day or night. So somehow, and you all have exams one after the other, or is it like gaps are there?
1 day.
Usually, how many hours you sleep? Yeah, last year.
6 to 8.
6 to 8 and all. Oh, so 11 to 7, no?
No, sir. I'll sleep 6 hours and then afternoon if I'm sleepy 1.5 hours.
Same. I also sleep off by 10:30, 11. So that is around 5 hours. Then in the afternoon, I sleep for half an hour, 1 hour. So it makes up 6 hours, 5.5, 6 hours. Okay. Now I want to also ask you one thing, Shreya. Here there is something called P and Q and R. What are these P, Q, R people? Who are these Q people and R people? P is what?
Oh, sir, that is present batch. No,
Q
no, no.
is?
Sir, they are just a few letters that was given to each batch.
Oh, this is the
Nothing
Q
is
and R are
present.
the previous batches.
Yes, sir. P is present batch
Q
or
is?
R batch.
R is?
R is, I guess, repetitive batch.
Ask
The
who's
ones
R
who
over
were,
there?
I don't.
Anybody R over here? And Q?
Q, I guess there are people who are going to attend next batch also.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Who's Q?
Yes, sir.
Hmm?
Divyashri.
Divyashri, oh, you will attempt. Yeah, you are attending the class now also. So you are attempting the next. And this R is one who came last batch and now coming this batch. Yeah. Q is the future batch. R is the past batch.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Let's go. Okay, guys, move to chapter 3.
Strategic management process.
How does Asha ma'am pep you all up? Come on. Some of you all tell me. Anybody can tell what is that? Mehul sir. Where's the Josh? What does he say? What does Mehul sir say? Shreya, tell no. He says something, no, when he starts the meeting.
I don't know. Sir.
I hope you all are all doing something he says, no? I hope you are all sweating or something. What does he say? Hmm. Okay, let's go to the next one. Third chapter. This is a small chapter.
Yes, sir. Strategic management process. Strategic planning. It is the process of arriving at a set of interactive and overlapping decisions regarding the objectives of the firm, resources required to attain these objectives, and formulation of policies to govern the acquisition, use, and disposition of resources, and formulation of a strategy that would enable the firm to outperform its own aspirations or competition.
Okay, you understood. Strategic planning, the first step in the strategic management process. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Remember, I told you, so you have to have a strategic plan. Next.
Corporate planning has two types: strategic planning and operational planning.
Okay, operation
Current
is day-to-day business. Operational planning is like what should we, how much of lubricants to be bought for the machines, how many people should be paid today, what are the checks which have to be sanctioned. And strategic planning is for the future, what it is for the future.
decision making. The major
Okay, I already
dimension.
told you the decision making, right? I've already told you. Don't go into the heading, just read the heading. Taking
Yes.
decisions, choosing between alternative courses of action. It's a part of strategic planning. Okay, next.
Major dimensions of strategic decisions are involvement of top management, substantial response commitment, consideration of factors.
Response commitment, resource commitment.
Sorry, resource
No. Then
resource commitment, consideration of factors in the external environment, significant impact on the long-term prosperity of the firm, future-oriented high degree of futurity,
high degree of
multi-functional and multi-business
what?
implications.
Hey, I didn't understand. High degree of something P came. Did you
Futurity.
all also hear that, Mega?
No, sir.
High degree of, is it my connection which is like that or
Yes, sir.
Mega?
We have futurity, sir.
It's my connection, I think so. It's gone. Shreya, you all can't hear me, right?
Sir, I can hear you, sir.
Here, sir.
I'm getting it as my connection is not stable. I'm hearing it all in waves.
Sir. Mega, 1 second, I'll come. Speak to Sir.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
There is a digging going out outside my house. They are putting new network cables. I don't know for which one. That's why in our cables are getting affected. Just now I went out and saw. So it's getting disconnected and it's getting connected. This Airtel people are putting more cables. They're putting those copper cables, underground cables. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's go to the next one. So you all understood this was the strategic decision making. It involves commitment of resources, etc. Right? Okay, let's go to the next one.
Yes, sir. Next, we have strategic intent.
Okay, remember strategic intent. I'm not going into detail. It has 5 subparts to it. If you remember, vision, mission, business definition, business model, and goals and
Objectives.
okay. So vision is the long range vision of what the company wants to be over a future period of time. Mission is what the company is currently pursuing and why is it in existence. What is the reason for the existence of the company? For example, we want to provide quality technology is the mission of Apple, but we want to be a $2 trillion company in the next 25 years is a vision. Business definition is what is the definition of the company? We provide technological phones, gadgets, etc., which will make the life of people easier and more comfortable. That will be the business definition. Business model is how they make money by the sales. Business model for a newspaper company will be the subscriptions as well as the advertisements. And finally, goals and objectives are short-term and long-term close-ended objectives which will help to realize the vision and mission of the company. So these are the 5 elements of strategic
Intent.
remember: vision, mission, business definition, business model, and
Goals.
goals and objectives.
So in detail, each of it is given.
So please skip that. But I want you all to know the difference between vision and mission. So they might ask you, what's the difference between mission is only a part of the vision statement, right? And mission is what is the company in existence for. And also there's a difference between mission and purpose. While mission defines it in terms of the customers, correct? Purpose defines it in the overall way in which the company gets into existence, correct? So two companies may have the same mission but different purposes, like providing quality reading material. The mission is the same, but the purpose is different because the purpose for a textbook company is to provide good quality textbooks. The proper purpose for a magazine is to provide good reading. Remember, I done this with you all?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Next, we have stages in strategic management. Developing a strategic vision and formulation of statement of mission, goals, and objectives. Environmental and organizational analysis. Formulation of strategy. Implementation of strategy. Strategic evaluation and control. So next we have let's see, end of chapter. Chapter 4, corporate level strategies.
Yeah. So let's go to corporate level strategy. Okay, these stages in the strategic development, I want you all to also understand that whenever you make these stages for this corporate level strategy, please see that you mention a company. Like when I did discuss this with you, I discussed ITC and Reliance. So as you're giving this, try and give examples that I already told you and don't miss any step. Right. So even if you forget, you make up the 5 steps, at least you have to remember these important things which they've given you in the RTP. These are only 30 pages, not RTP, the revision capsule. These are only 30 pages, but they're not leaving out the points, right? So you also should never leave out the points.
Yes, sir. So corporate level strategies, they are based of classification of strategies. Corporate level, business level, function level. Stages of business life cycle. Entry or introduction stage, that is market penetration strategy. For growth stage, growth strategy. Maturity stage, stability strategy. Decline stage, retrenchment strategy.
Okay, learn this up. Okay, now what is the market penetration? Anybody? What's the difference between market penetration and market skimming? You'll all have done this in BCom also. You all had a chapter, no? What's your first marketing management is in your first sem, Shreya? No
Yes,
marketing
sir, we have
management.
marketing. Yes, sir.
Uh-huh. Doing CA, I forgotten. Okay, but doesn't matter. Once you clear this, it's like BCom is over. Okay, anybody wants to try? Market penetration is when you set the price very low and enter all the areas of the market. Penetration means going deep, like you poke a pin into let's say into a rubber. So the sharper the pin, it will go deeper into the rubber, right? So you fix the price so low that you can enter the depths of the market, like Geo did when it launched its Geo services. So they priced it so low that everybody. What is market skimming? Like Apple does. They price it very high at the time of launch so that only the rich people can buy it, and then they gradually lower the prices. So iPhone 12 from 95. Did I exit the thing?
No,
Am I
sir,
audible?
audible. Yes, sir.
Okay, so 90,000, then the next layer will be 75,000, then the next layer will be 60. Now you're getting Apple iPhone 12 and 12 mini for 53,000, correct or no? So they gradually lower, like how you skim the milk. If you keep the milk in the refrigerator, you might have seen that cream gets accumulated on the top of the milk, right? You all seen that? So that is the cream of the market. Then and the deeper you go into the milk, it becomes more water and water, correct or no? Try and keep a milkshake if you have any of you all have tried to get Cavin's milkshake or this Tetra Pak milkshake. Keep it in the fridge for 4-5 days. You'll see something very shocking. When you take it out and drink it, the top part will be all the thing. After some 3-4 sips, you'll find everything as water, water, water. Because the cream has got. Okay, so that is called skimming. What it is called as?
Skimming.
Market skimming, right? So market penetration, you all understood this. Okay, the other one's expansion and all we know. Okay, go to the next one.
So under corporate strategy alternatives, stability, growth, retrenchment, and combination. Under
This
growth
one.
or expansion strategy, we have diversification, merger, acquisition, and strategic alliances.
Okay, remember
Under
this is very
diversification,
important. Yeah, diversification.
we have intensification and diversification. Under intensification, market penetration, market development, and product development. Under diversification, vertically integrated. Under that, forward and backward. Other than that, horizontally integrated, concentric diversification, and conglomerate diversification.
Okay, so if you remember this chart, it's more than enough.
Yes.
So what is this intensification? Remember the Igor Ansoff matrix: market penetration, market development, product development. Who will explain this? Ashwini Akkai, are you sleeping?
No, sir, I'm awake, sir. I'm listening.
Your son is keeping you awake. Who's there behind you?
Sir, they are playing
Oh, they're playing with you or they're playing with themselves?
their father.
What they're playing?
Ball, sir.
Okay. Okay, now coming to the point. Intensification, what is this market penetration? Existing product in the existing market is called as?
Market.
Then existing product, new market is called as market development. Existing product, no. Existing market and new product is called as?
Market.
Product.
Product.
So let's take market penetration. Now let's say Sprite reduces the price of Sprite in order to capture more of the market share. It becomes market penetration, giving buy one bottle of Sprite and get one more bottle of Sprite free. It's market penetration. Market development is Sprite launches its product in Bangladesh where there was no Sprite before. It's going into a new. Sprite launches a new variant of Sprite which is called Sprite Super, which combines lemon and ginger. Okay, that is called product development. What it is called as?
Product.
Diversification, basically a new product in a new
Market.
Okay. For example, Sprite launches Diet Sprite, catering to the People who are very calorie conscious. What you have only diet Coke now, no? You don't have diet Sprite. So that becomes
Market, new product.
diversification, heroine. Okay. Now diversification again can be classified into two intense. What was it? Vertical, horizontal, concentric, and
Conglomerate.
whenever you go into a totally unrelated business, it is called as conglomerate. What it is called as?
Conglomerate.
So when you are not at all connected with the business and you launch, so for example, let's say a company like Airtel, it launched an insurance, which is AXA insurance. It was in telecom. That what is that? Bharti AXA insurance, right? Right. So it moved into an insurance field from a telecom field. Then it is called as conglomerate.
That's
The Airtel is owned by Sunil Bharti Mittal, so his company is called Bharti Enterprises. Okay, so Bharti AXA and all. Okay, then if you go from concentric diversification, same product line, but it is related in some way to the existing product. For example, I told you Cadbury's when it is selling chocolates and it launched chocolate biscuits in the form of Oreo biscuits, it becomes concentric. The main core is the same, but there is something different from the core, correct? So, or Dabur launches real milkshakes instead of real fruit juice. Okay. Now, what is this horizontal integration? When you diversify into similar businesses which are doing similar, like for example, Amazon acquires more. It's an online business acquiring an offline, but they're doing the same retails, groceries like through Amazon Fresh. So that becomes horizontal. And what is this forward and backward integration? Anybody can tell me? What has happened to all of y'all? Please tell me.
basically
Shreya,
helps in
Shreya, how
the
many people are there in the
present
class?
business.
Yeah. Vertical, what is forward and what is backward?
So that if it's into supplies,
Huh?
backward is manufacturing.
Okay. When you go up the value chain or the supply chain, it is forward. Like, for example, you're manufacturing milk. Now you start manufacturing butter, cheese. It is.
Forward.
So, for example, Nandini starts making Nandini butter, Nandini cheese, correct? Now they're only making milk, right? Then it is called forward integration. Backward integration, let's say you have a coffee powder business which crushes and makes coffee, and now you acquire coffee plantations where you'll get the raw materials also, the coffee berries. Then it is called as
Backward.
backward integration. So from the finished goods to the raw materials, it is backward. From the raw materials to the finished goods, it is forward. Okay, so keep this in mind and write it in a proper manner. And please give an example. Okay. I don't know if anything more is there in this chapter.
No, sir. Mergers and acquisition.
Mergers and acquisition.
Strategic
strategy.
alliance.
Alliances. So, okay. You'll know what a merger and acquisition. When companies join together, it is called a merger. When it acquires one more company, it is called an.
Acquisition.
I read recently one merger which I forgot completely about. Two companies, very famous companies, merged together. Anybody? Huh? Anybody read anything in the news? It just slipped my mind. Recently, I read. Okay. Anyway, acquisition is when one company acquires another company. It is called as acquisition. Correct or no? Yeah. Yeah. So, for example, when Tata acquired 1mg, which is a pharmaceutical based retail, it is called as. Okay. Okay, so mergers and acquisition. You all know strategic alliances. When two companies forge an alliance without merging each other to share common resources. Like there's a strategic alliance between Suzuki and Toyota to make those Maruti Balinos and the Toyota Blanza. It is called a strategic alliance. Okay, go
Yes.
to the next one.
So next we have business level strategies.
Okay, this is chapter number 6. Five. Okay, who's going to?
Yes, sir. So under this, we have Michael Porter's generic strategy.
What are the
Under
generic
that,
strategy? Yeah.
under that, cost leadership strategy, differentiation strategy, and focus strategy.
Wonderful.
The next one was best cost provider strategy.
Okay, so you'll know what is cost leadership. Anybody? Where's Avi Shetty? Is not answering.
Sir, I'm here.
Avi Shetty, are you yawning by any chance?
No, sir.
No. Shreya, is he yawning? He's put on a video, no?
No,
You have put on, no?
that I put on my
Okay, leave it. Good. You're the only one who's put, huh?
Megha, Lasya, Ashwini Akka, Divya. That's it.
Oh, sweet. All sweet girls. 5 of y'all. All of y'all clear first attempt. Okay. Divya Shri, yeah?
Yes, sir.
Divya Shri, who's looking glamorous? Shreya or Megha Paul or Ashwini Akka or who's the other one who's put on?
Me, sir.
Huh?
All of them.
Okay. Divya showing me only. I am looking.
Self-confidence and self-love, sir.
Oh, that is too good. That was the best answer which I received. Divya, keep it up, man. I never expected this. What, Shreya? You should be confident like Divya.
It's the next level.
This is next level. Who's looking at? She's telling me. Oh God, I love second best. Who, Divya? Second best. Shreya, Megha, Ashwini Akka.
All of, sir.
All
they-
okay. First is you, then all runner up. All runner up.
No, sir. Now
Okay.
we're looking good, sir.
Huh? Now?
Now all of us looking good, sir.
Now all of them are looking good. Okay. First they were not. Okay. Keep it up. You did some touch up and all. Huh? Yeah. You did some touch. You changed the lighting or you put some mascara or something and came.
No, sir.
Okay. I don't know why you all feel shy if you all put mascara, nail polish. You should be proud of it. You all are girls. Like girls will wear all, cut their hair. They'll behave like boys. No boys will spit on you also then. The more feminine a girl is, the more boys get attracted to you. Understand that? The more you'll put nail art, the more you'll put lipstick. Then you'll see, ooh, you should be proud of being a girl. Because whenever I ask girls, no, sir, I don't put anything. I'll just go like that. I'll drive one bike and on Bob. Then boys will also do the same. Boys will feel boy. Why to go behind this girl? She's just like a boy only. Yeah. Okay, let's go to the next one. So these are the, we are doing the next chapter, right? We'll start. The cost leadership is reducing the cost. I gave the example of Patanjali. Then the differentiation is you make the product different from that of the competitor, right? I gave the example of Dove being a moisturizer, Complan being a complete food. Focus strategies, when you focus on one set of the market, I'd given you the example of general focus of how Johnson & Johnson being the best focus strategy for only children's. I left the meeting, huh? No. Okay. Okay. And then best cost provider is a combination of cost leadership and differentiation. I gave you the example of OnePlus. Remember, where you're giving something at a lower price, plus you have differentiated and made the quality of the product so
Right.
good. Correct or no? Just see if anything is there to cover in this chapter, Shrikant.
Sir, Michael Porter's generic strategies.
This is the 3: cost leadership, differentiation, and yeah.
Yes, sir.
Hmm.
So then we have five forces model.
Five forces model, I told you, these five forces, which determines the competitive forces. Now, don't confuse the Michael Porter's generic strategies for business with the five forces. The five forces are competitive forces in an industry. So when they mention the word industry, competitive forces, mention the five. When they mention business level strategies, you mention those three
Strategies.
Because sometimes for something you'll write the same answer. You think everything is only five forces. Michael Porter has also given those three strategies. So there's five forces I already told you: threat of new entrants, threat of substitute. If new entrants can come into the market, you have a jewelry business. Anybody can start a jewelry business. That means your business is not attractive. But if you start a petrochemical factory, you can't start a petrochemical. It requires a lot of investment. Threat of substitute: if your product can be easily substituted, you're manufacturing aluminum cans, can be easily substituted by plastic cans, steel cans, then it is not a good business. But if it cannot be substituted, for example, if you're dealing in LPG cylinders, LPG cannot be selected in the house, you won't start using coal and charcoal and firewood and all, correct or no? It's not easy to substitute LPG cylinders with something else. Bargaining power of suppliers. If the person who's supplying the goods to you can bargain with you and he's the only supplier, then your business is not in a very good shape. And the last fourth one is bargaining power of customers. Customers can, if you are doing a fruits and vegetable business, people can come and bargain. But if you're selling petrol, they can't tell you, give me petrol for 80 rupees instead of 100 rupees. You'll put that petrol on them and burn them up. Understand? And last one is?
Substitute.
Hmm?
Nature of rivalry.
If there are too many people in the same business, like let's say you go to Chickpet and you find 100 shops selling same silk saree, then it's not very good. But if you have only one or two people selling that, it is called this thing.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so these are the five things.
Yes. Sir, I guess then we can go to the next chapter.
Yeah. I guess I'll just come back in 2 or 3 minutes. Is it okay? Just wait for 2-3 minutes. I'll be back. Correct? Is that okay with you all?
Okay.
7:20. Okay, I'll be back in 2. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's move to chapter number 6, right? 6, right, Shreya?
Yes, sir.
Hmm.
Functional level strategies.
Hmm.
Functional strategies.
These are also very important, this chapter. Remember, chapter I told you 2, 6, 8. Big chapters, important chapters. Hmm.
Yes, sir. So marketing strategy, financial strategy, production strategy, logistic strategy, research and development strategy, human resource strategy.
Strategy. Hmm.
So
Have they
these are the
mentioned
basic-
anything? The marketing strategy, you know, there are different strategical techniques, right? They have mentioned that different types of
Yes, sir.
strategic techniques of marketing. Just go through them one by one quickly.
So under marketing strategy, we have marketing mix.
Marketing mix, you all know, no? 4 P's, and each
Product
P has
price,
a C.
promotion.
Product, price, place of physical distribution and promotion, and each P has a C. Product is the customer, the price is the cost to the customer, correct or no? The promotion is the communication, and the physical distribution is the convenience to the customer, right? So for each P, there's a C, and I also discussed with you there are 3 additional P's for service marketing. The 3 additional P's are physical evidence, process, and people. What is it? Physical evidence, process, and
People.
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 So 4 plus 3 makes it 7 P's, correct? Right?
Yes, sir.
Hmm.
Marketing strategy
When I was
formulation.
in my, so when I started my career, I used to do sales for Sivananda Electronics. So in our sales, we had a sales manager. He used to tell us there are 4 P's of marketing and sales. So we told product, price, place, promotion, and physical distribution. He said, no, the 4 P's are please, 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 and please. You have to tell the customer, please buy, please buy, please buy, please buy. Only then he will
Bye.
buy. Shreya, please read. Please read.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Marketing strategy formulation.
Hmm.
Under that, we have marketing analysis.
And that you know, no,
And
analyzing the market. And then remember that STP we had done segmentation, targeting, and in this marketing analysis, the segmentation, dividing the market into small segments, then targeting, choosing the segments, and then positioning yourself as what you want, the fastest or the best or the most cheesy pizza. Remember, I told you segmentation, targeting, positioning. Yeah, fast, fast, fast.
Then we have strategy formulation, strategy control. Then techniques of strategic
This one was the one which I was talking about.
marketing. So social marketing, augmented
Social marketing, you know, no, that social, like for social causes, don't cut trees, don't smoke cigarettes, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Augmented marketing.
Augmented mark, when you add some benefit to the product along with it, like extended 4-year warranty with the product, or you buy the computer, you get software free with it, correct? Next.
Yes, sir. Then direct marketing.
You know this, direct customer, business to consumer, B2C.
Then relationship marketing.
Building a relationship with the customer, right? Like having Safari, means Tata Safari has a relationship with the customers. They take them on adventure trips, etc. Next, or loyalty
Person
points.
marketing.
Person marketing is you market a person. Ab ki baar, Modi Sarkar, Tendulkar's restaurant, correct or no? Then
Yes. Organization marketing.
market the entire organization. Tata, a century of trust.
Place marketing.
You market a place. Bangalore is better than Hyderabad for investments, correct or no?
Enlightened marketing.
It combines all sense of mission, value marketing, everything. There are 5 elements of enlightened market.
Yes, sir. Customer oriented, innovative, value marketing, sense of mission, and social.
Social. So when all these are combined, it is called as enlightened marketing.
Differential marketing.
You have a different product for each segment of the market, like Colgate sensitive for people who have sensitive teeth, Colgate what to say, Ved Shakti for those people who want Ayurvedic product, Colgate whitening for those people who want white teeth. You have a different product for each segment of the.
Concentrated market.
You have only one product which concentrates on one segment of the Mercedes-Benz for the richer class or something.
D market.
Demarketing is when you want people to use less of the product, like use less LPG or use less petrol. Correct or no? Got it?
Yes.
Don't waste
Next
paper.
Next we have financial strategy.
Okay.
Three main approaches are net worth of stockholders' equity, future benefits to owners through net profits, market determined business worth.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not doing this financial strategy. Pramod sir will do. What? Prabodh sir? Huh?
Yes, sir.
Prabodh, no?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Production or
Prabodh sir will
operation.
do this. Yeah. Yeah. That financial strategy, most of it is covered under your financial management. Okay.
Productions or operation strategy.
Yeah. So I told you
Operations
production
and-
is a limited term as compared to operations have everything, infrastructure, and one part of product operations is production. Yeah. Go ahead.
So then we have implementing supply chain management system. Under
Okay.
that, product development,
Hmm.
procurement, manufacturing, physical distribution, outsourcing, customer services, performance management. Sorry, measurement.
Okay, so please learn this properly because supply chain management is a hot topic nowadays in the market. I mean, so might be they give you on supply chain. You know what is supply chain management? That is inward supply and outward. So managing the supply of raw materials into the factory and managing the supply of finished goods out to the. So supply chain is not only logistics where you transport the goods to the final customer, but it's also managing the risk and the other variations of the market. Correct or no?
Yes, sir. Next, we have human resource strategy.
Hmm.
Under that, the prominent areas are providing purposeful direction,
Yeah,
creating
these are.
competitive atmosphere, facilitation of change.
I don't know what happened. You stopped talking, huh?
Yes, sir, I came back. Facilitation
Okay.
of change.
Your sister's troubling
Diversion
you,
of
huh?
work. No, sir, no, sir.
Your mother, huh?
No, sir, no, sir.
Somebody called you, right?
No, sir, she was speaking to someone else.
Okay, okay. You want, you can go and come, yeah? There's no,
No, sir,
this thing.
not me, not.
Oh.
Providing purposeful direction, creating competitive atmosphere, facilitation of change, diversion of workforce, empowerment of human resources, building core competency, development of works, ethics, and culture.
So again, remember this, you can remember there are only some 4 C's, 2 D's, and 1 E, I think. I had remembered it that way. I remember I taught you this. The first one is, what's the first one is a C, right? What is it? Just read it.
The first one is providing purposeful direction.
Yeah, so D. Then
Creating competitive atmosphere.
Competitive atmosphere, C. Then
Facilitation of change.
Change again, C squared. Then
Diversion of workforce.
Diversity of workforce, this is D. So 2 D's, 2 C's, correct?
Yes, sir. Empowerment of human resource.
E. Empowerment.
Building core competency.
C.
Development of works, ethics, and culture.
E. So 3 C's, 2 D's, 2 E's.
Yes, sir.
C cube, D squared, E squared. So you'll remember it. Such an easy way of remembering, but don't bluff and all over there. Over there, you'll remember 2 D's. What is D, or what D? First, you'll remember diversity. The other D you're not remembering. Don't write over there dosa and come off. Correct or no? Leave it off. Correct or no?
Yes, sir.
Especially in the morning, if you have not eaten breakfast and gone to write your exam, you'll remember dosa. Then C, 2 C's I remembered. 1 C is missing, chutney. So dosa and chutney together, you'll write and come. Don't do all that. Understand?
Yes, sir.
So this can be an easy way of remembering, but it also can be a double-edged sword because you'll forget of there are 3 C's. Correct or no?
Yes, sir.
C cube, D squared, E squared. Okay.
Next, we move
Who's
to
come?
the
Somebody
7th
went
chapter.
on. Yeah. 7th chapter. The second last chapter. Or the last
Yes, sir.
chapter. Yeah, second.
Second. Organization and strategic leadership. Organization structure.
Shoo. What happened?
Nothing, sir.
Uh,
Breeze.
Huh?
Sir, because
Some-
of breeze, just the
The door shut or the window shut?
door.
Okay.
Organization structure. Under that, Chandler's strategy, structure relationship.
Okay. Remember we did which comes first, strategy or structure? Remember? Anybody remembers? What comes first? And this chapter y'all only had done. Most of y'all had done the presentation. Remember we did simple organization structure, that R glass, functional, SBU. I don't remember who all had done what, but majority of y'all only had done the Mega. Which one you had done?
SPU.
SBU. Who had done matrix?
Me.
Okay, just hold on. Just hold on. My wife has given a missed call. Just hold on. I'll just come. Am I audible now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, it's raining very heavily outside my house. I don't know if it's raining outside your house, so my wife called. Okay, come, let's move to so I told you strategy always comes first and then comes structure. So previously it was believed that you make the structure of the organization. Structure is basically the hierarchy in the organization, managing director, general manager, production manager, etc. But usually it is the strategy which is made first and then you form the structure of the organization. So structure follows strategy. Strategy doesn't follow structure, and they had given you on Chandler's this thing, no, that diagram where it moves from one to thing. There is,
Yes, sir.
yeah. So you'll have to
So
remember that, yeah.
first, new strategy is formed,
Mhm,
new
mhm.
administrative problems emerge,
Mm.
organizational performance declines, a new organizational structure is established, organizational performance improves.
Yeah. So this is nothing but your
Chandler's strategy
strategy. So
structure.
you'll have to learn this, and I'd given you the example of red tape of how they ventured into sports shoes, and then they couldn't manage it, and then they formed two separate divisions, and then they. Hmm.
Sir, then we have under organizational structure the different.
Yeah, so this and all you'll have done simple, then it went to functional, right?
Yes, sir. Functional, divisional, multi-divisional, SBU, matrix, network, hourglass.
Usually they'll ask you one of these for at least 3 marks or 4 marks, and they'll ask you 1 or 2 merits or demerits. So if you remember this, and I told you the tougher or the toughest ones over here are matrix, SBO. Okay. Others are mostly very easy, right? The matrix one is a little elaborate and they have matrix formation and all that, right? So among these, the simple, functional, divisional, multi-divisional is pretty easy. What becomes difficult is these matrix and SBU, and then again hourglass and network is very easy. What did you do, Shreya?
I did matrix.
You only did matrix.
Yes,
Okay, matrix you did. SBU?
mega.
Mega. Then who did that other ones? Multi-divisional, multi-divisional. Last year, what did you do?
Divisionals.
Huh?
Divisional.
Divisional. Sai Rishika?
Divisionals with
With this one. Avi Shetty?
Multi-divisional.
Okay, all three of you all did divisional. Then who did the simple and that other one? Functional? They are not present today. I think so. Hourglass and Suresh did one, no? Suresh, which one did you do?
Network, sir.
Oh. Hourglass? Sudanva, you did hourglass.
No, sir.
Right.
Huh?
Sri-
Okay.
Srinivas. Sir.
Srinivas. Oh.
Yes,
Where is
sir.
Srivatsa? He didn't come today.
Sir, I didn't do this chapter.
You did in economics, no? You did, Srivatsa?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, very good. So please go through all this. I don't have the time to explain each of these structures, but you all did it. And I explained it at that particular time. I took a CA example of how somebody starts a CA firm and how they keep growing and growing, and they have different organizations. Okay, let's go to
The next chapter, sir. The last chapter. Strategy, implementation, and control.
control. This is very important. Not very important. I told you 2, 6, and 8 chapters are important. So
Yes, sir. So
because these are the large chapters. These are 3 of the biggest chapters are 2, 6, and 8.
Yes.
That's why I keep saying they're important.
yes, sir.
Hmm.
So under that, the different important topics are interrelationship between strategy formulation and implementation, strategic change, strategic control, strategy audit, business process re-engineering, benchmarking.
So then we'll go one by one or what?
Yes, sir.
Or you want, I'll just explain it out. So I'll know what is the difference between strategic formulation and control. Well, formulation is making the strategy while you implement it. And if there's a deviation from the set standards, you take strategic control, right? Just read the headings, no, quickly, Satya.
Yes, sir. We have interrelationship between strategy formulation and implementation.
Yeah.
Under that, we have a matrix.
Matrix. No, not a matrix. These are differences. Okay. This one, that matrix.
One matrix is there, sir.
Yeah.
Sound and weak, it's A. Flawed and weak, C.
Yeah. Remember that. And I told you only if it is sound and effective, it becomes strategy, success. In all the other three cases, it's a failure, right? And we did the same matrix with effectiveness and efficiency also, right? Remember? Die slowly, die quickly,
Yes, sir.
thrive and survive.
Sir, then we have differences. Shall I just read that out?
What?
Differences between strategy formulation and strategy implementation.
This you all can understand, right? Differences between formulation is making the strategy. You need more analytical, you need more planning skills and all. Implementation is on the ground. You need to motivate the employees and see that the work is
done. Next, we have strategic change.
This is important, and you had that Kurt Levin model, remember?
Yes, sir.
Those 3 stages.
Yes, sir.
Unfreezing, changing, and
refreeze. Sir, steps to initiate strategic change are recognize the need for change, create a shared vision to manage change,
and I also told you the difference between shared vision and vision shared. Vision shared is just communicating the vision. Shared vision is when everybody becomes a part of the vision, it is called a shared
vision.
This also, you get a lot of questions as case studies from this. They'll ask you what is the change, explain the steps in change. Indirectly, they want to change the organization, just like the turnaround strategy, right?
Yes, sir. Next, we have strategic control. Under that, operational management and strategic control.
This operational management and strategic control is just like the functional level, business level, and corporate level. So the same thing, if you put it in the control format, it becomes operational, managerial, and strategy.
Next, we have the types of strategic control. Premise control, strategic surveillance, special alert control, and implementation control.
You all remember all this? What's the first one? Premise is the assumption on with the basis of which you're making the plan. So when you control the premises, you made an assumption that you'll get a loan of 50 lakhs from the bank, but you'll have to, if it doesn't work, you'll have to take corrective. Strategic surveillance is just serving. So you keep going through the day to day, and if you find anything unusual in the environment, for example, you find that the tomato prices are suddenly, or you find suddenly that a lot of people are remitting money from Sri Lanka outside India, then you say, oh, we have to stop our business in Sri Lanka because there is something going wrong. Special alert control is basically if there is some pandemic or something which happens, you'll have to control the surveillance is like the CCTVs. There's nothing gone wrong, but you keep noticing for other. But special alert, something has gone wrong and you try and okay, and implementation control, you'll all know. Okay. Shreya, am I audible?
Yes, sir. So next we have strategy audit.
Oh God, 1 minute, Shreya. Again, this thing is becoming bad. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, but you all are not. Okay, your voice is breaking, Shreya, for me. I think so. The connection is becoming again unstable. Is it becoming unstable? You all can see it?
We can hear properly, sir. Am I audible? Is the rain sound audible?
Yes.
Rain sound.
Am I back?
Yes, sir.
Ayo, what a headache this is. It's raining very heavily outside my house.
Yes, sir. Very heavy.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, continue. So yeah, just finish off the chapter, no? Then we'll be a little free.
Yes, sir. Strategy audit.
Oh God.
Sir, am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible. Yeah, outside there's a lot of rain, but I think so the noise cancellation is proper. I heard some blast or something near house. Something. I don't know what. The door closed, huh?
My house, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay.
Um,
Okay, continue
yeah.
reading, no? So we did the 4 types of control we were doing, right? That I told you: special alert control, strategic surveillance, uh, premise control, and implementation control.
Control. So next we have under strategy audit, Richard Rumel's criteria for strategy audit.
Yeah.
Under that, examining the underlying basis of a firm's strategy, comparing expected results with actual results, taking corrective actions to ensure that performance conforms to plans.
This is similar to controlling. Remember, I told you strategic audit, the steps are almost similar to controlling. You set the standards, you measure the performance, and if there's a deviation from the standard in the performance, you take corrective
Measures.
action.
These were the basic 3 activities.
Yeah. Okay.
And the criteria, it is consistency, consonance, feasibility, advantage.
Okay, remember these 4. Consistency is if there is a consistency between the long term and the short term. Consonance means if all the departments are at one go. Feasible is the strategy feasible or not. What was the 4th one? Shreya?
4th one, advantage.
Yeah, whether it's going to give an advantage to the firm or so if it doesn't fit into, if the strategy is deviating from all these 4, then you have to take corrective action. What you have to take corrective?
Action.
Yeah.
Then we have business process re-engineering.
Okay, now business process re-engineering, I told you, is a radical shift from the existing processes. Remember, I gave you the example of how the ATM was discovered. First, we had to give a check and then wait for it. So when you radically change, what is a business process? A process is a set of steps which have to be carried on to accomplish a particular task. Now, if those steps are carrying on, which are taking more time or incurring more cost or it's causing inconvenience to the customers, what you do is you take a business process re-engineering where you radically change the entire process. It is not just a piecemeal distribution where you change 1 step or 2 steps. You change the entire process itself. So the entire process of withdrawing money was changed by the introduction of the ATM. The entire process of billing has been changed by putting a detector which will detect all the items on your yeah, and then you can take this thing. So business process engineering is a change, a paradigm shift in the existing process and introducing a new process. Correct or no?
Yes.
Yes, sir. So next we have business process re-engineering steps to be followed. Sir?
Yeah. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So the steps to be followed in business process engineering, just read them out.
Yes, sir. Determining objectives, identify customers and determine their needs, study the existing process, formulate a redesign process plan, implement the redesign process.
Okay, so remember these are the steps.
Yes, sir.
It's raining in
So
all
next-
parts of Bangalore, huh?
Mostly, yes, sir.
Yeah, okay, next.
So next we have
I
benchmark.
also gave you the example of Tirumala Tirupati Devasthing. And benchmarking, what I told you is you compare yourself with the best in the industry, you put that as a benchmark, and then you improve your performance to meet the benchmark in the industry. So the process of comparing yourself with the best in the industry, following their practices, following their procedures, and seeing that you also reach that level is called as bench marking.
So steps of benchmarking.
Benchmarking. I gave you the example of Philips and GE when they told better than the best. I told you how it changed its strategy of its what do you say? Its their bulb manufacturing. They observe the practices, then they change the filament, not the filament. The thickness of the glass was just increased by 0.2 mm, and the life of the GE bulbs became even better than that of the Philips bulbs. Correct or no? Yeah.
So shall I just read out those steps, sir?
Yeah.
Identifying the need for benchmarking, clearly understanding existing decisions processes, identify best processes, comparison of own process and performance with that of others, prepare a report and implement the steps necessary to close the performance gap,
Yeah.
and then evaluation.
Okay, so this was nothing but benchmarking, correct or no?
Yes.
Okay, so you all understood this business process reengineering and benchmarking. Again, they ask one of these very often. So be careful of this, correct? These are the newer techniques of strategy. But I think so that ends it. Now we can go through a revision test paper, or we can go through a mock test paper, or whatever you want to do, Shreya.
However you say, sir.
We'll ask somebody what do you all think we should do? Should we do a mock paper, guys? Or do you want to do a RTP, or you want to do the previous December 2019 paper, 2021 paper? Be sure whatever's come in the last 3 years will never come for you all. Means last 3 exams. So if you want to selectively leave out something, go to December 2021, June 2021, December 2020. Whatever has come in that, leave out that. 95% of the time it doesn't repeat. What it doesn't? At least 2 years, 1 year, so you guarantee. Last 2 papers, whatever has come will never. It happens with all papers, only my paper.
All papers.
All papers. So very easy way of leaving out is see the last paper, check out all those things. Those things will not come. 10% of your portion will get cut off. Then go to the previous year. Another 10% will get. In accounts, don't do that, because accounts, they'll give you different adjustments and all. No, in theory papers you can do. So should we do mock?
Yes.
Mock is a better. We'll do a mock paper. Shreya, please share all these files with the WhatsApp group.
Sir, actually, all this is available in the ICI website.
Yeah, but many of them are not pretty lazy, no?
Yes, I will.
So you send it out, no? What difference it makes to you? Will you lose anything by sending it? Nothing, no? Send it out.
I will send, sir. Yes.
Correct or no?
Yes.
The more you help, the more you share, the more you teach somebody, guarantee it comes back to you. Might be not in CA, Inter, it will come back in final. If somewhere it will come back, which will help you to clear a paper.
Sure, sir. I will send.
Mm.
Sir, before this, why not we solve the MCQs of RTP?
Okay. We'll solve the MCQs of RTP. How many ever we can?
There are very few actually.
Very few are there in MCQ. So we'll solve the MCQs of RTP and then we'll.
Sir, we have one, I guess it's case scenario. And then we have 5 other MCQs.
Okay, we'll do those. We'll finish off that first and then we'll wind up, or we'll see if we have time, we'll do the MTP, mock test paper. MTP is mock test paper, RTP is division test paper. Huh?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay.
So under multiple choice questions, case scenario. First one. Since its inception in 1910, the family business of Indian ethnic wear firm Shanti Prasad and Sons, run by Mr. Rupesh Gupta and his three sons, has seen major transformation in supply chain, product development, and management. The inheritance over generations hasn't been easy as it is subject to family brawls, but the company stood strong to its core principles. Since 2011, major foreign brands have been eyeing the segment with world-class designers opening up their boutiques in plush areas around the country. JJM, a French design house, recently branded its Indian wear with leading film personalities to attract masses.
That's
This
right.
damaged, sir.
Yeah. Continue to.
This damaged existing supply chains, attracted new age buyers, and has been profitable from the very beginning. The three sons reach out to you for management consultancy to help them meet the competition, if not beat it. You study the business inside out and come up with three options. First, to exit Indian market and start exporting their designs in European markets. This would ensure bigger revenue and forex gains, and also the distribution chains were well built there. Second, to become the major manufacturer of JMM and other big foreign brands. This would ensure they stay relevant in the market as all the promotional spend would be taken care of by JMM, and the volumes they would drop in would actually mean growth for Shanti Prasad and Sons too. Third, to sell their designs to the global brands with patent protection. This would ensure a perpetual flow of revenue and a new market altogether with global business exposure. The family, after considering your proposals, knowing the intricacies of business and its environment, decided to blend options 2 and 3. The success or failure could only be got in 3 quarters when they sit down for an internal post-implementation review. Based on the above case scenario, answer the multiple choice questions.
You all understood the question? All of you all? Megapold?
Yes, sir.
This is a company, Indian company, which makes Indian ethnic wear, like the Manyavar, no? All these kurtas, sherwanis, and all that. And they are doing it from generation to generation. But now a new brand has come for foreign brand, JJM, and they have also entered into the Indian ethnic wear. So their supply chain has been disturbed. Supply chain basically means the distributors, wholesalers who used to keep only Shanti Prasad products are now keeping JJM, and their volumes have started coming down, and they are struggling in that. And they've asked you, how do we reverse this? Because more on wholesalers, retailers are keeping the new age French ethnic wear, which I'm French company which is making Indian ethnic wear. So you have suggested them 3 options. The first option was to export your products in Europe. The second option was approach JJM and tell we will manufacture the goods for you and you can sell it under your brand name, so that the more you spend on marketing everything. And the third is your patents and designs, your sari designs and all, you patent it and sell the designs to this company so that you can make revenue out of that. So this Shanti Prasad and fellow is telling we'll take option 2 and 3 and we'll try and stay relevant in the market. So let's see what are the MCQs, Ms. Shreya Srinikant. Question 1.
What can be about the attitude of the owners with regards to their strategy mindset when they reached out for consultancy? Expansion, stability, retrenchment, and combination.
What do you all think? When they reached out to the management consultant, what was their goal? Was it stability? Was it expansion? Was it retrenchment, or was it combination? Retrenchment. They wanted to go out of the market. I feel it is combination or stability. What is it? Just see the answer, Shreya.
Yes, sir. Just
Huh?
yes, sir. I'm seeing the answer. Sir, it says B. That is the stability strategy.
Stability, because they wanted to maintain. That's what I thought it was stability but it is stability because they wanted to maintain their existing
Okay.
market. Okay, go to the next question.
If the owners went with option 2, which of the following components of marketing strategy would be irrelevant for them? Should I read the second?
Yeah. What are the options?
Okay. Options are product and promotion, price and product, promotion only, place only.
Promotion, right? Because the promotion will be taken care by
J.
yeah. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Next.
Option 3, if opted, would help in sustainability of which of the following and would ensure so because of what major characteristic of sustainability? Options are sustainability of competitive advantage by ensuring transferability, sustainability of value creation by ensuring appropriability, sustainability of value creation by restricting imitability, sustainability of competitive advantage by ensuring durability.
I think such imitability, right? They cannot imitate because your product patent and pays this thing, right? Just check up. Is it transferability or imitability? Just check up.
Sir, it is imitability.
Imitability. Because they are patenting their designs, no? So nobody can imitate those.
So just a second. 3 is D. So
What is it?
durability.
Durability, yeah.
If option 3 is chosen.
Option 3 is what? Just read it on top.
Yes, sir. So option 3, to sell their designs to the global brands with patent protection. This would ensure a perpetual flow of revenue and a new market altogether.
A perpetual flow of revenue. That's why they say durability, right? Okay.
Next question. For JMM, which of the following structures would be best suited in case all major Indian family-run businesses start producing designs for them, while JMM simply takes care of distribution and marketing? One is simple structure, B network structure, C matrix structure, and then divisional structure.
Network structure, right? Because you're outsourcing everything to
Indian.
Okay.
Then I missed one question.
Oh.
For Shanti Prasad and Sons, as well as JM, globalization has been a key area of consideration. As times change and new players enter a market, the existing firms need to be careful about their survival. Which of the following statements about globalization is false for JJM? It unifies. Yes, sir. It unifies the trade and such trade barriers become irrelevant. It needs ability to compete in a domestic market with foreign competitors. It includes commitment to invest heavily in other countries. It brings in foreign investment in the form of FDI.
Which one is false, yeah? On globalization? Just see the answer.
4B.
B is?
It needs ability to compete in domestic market with foreign competitors.
It meets, what is it?
It needs. Which is false.
It's false, right?
So these were the questions, sir.
Okay, what's the questions after that? They give you like this, in the exam?
One is,
Always like this.
I guess 1 or 2 will be case scenarios.
Case scenarios, and the remaining, this is for 20 marks, right?
Sir,
40 marks
are for 30 marks.
Out of which 15 is EIS and 15 is
SM.
Okay.
So I guess only one question.
One question will come for 5 marks.
Yes. And then rest by normal question. Sir, next question.
Oh.
Nom Nom is a fast food brand and has been facing a lot of competition from American brands and has decided to not go very aggressive, but to just preserve market share. Which of the strategy Nom Nom is following? Build, hold,
No, just read
or
it again. Long is decided to just read the thing again.
Nom Nom.
Ah.
It is a fast food brand and has been facing a lot of
Oh God.
competition.
Current went off. Yeah. My UPS
Facing a
is
lot
managing.
of competition
Yeah.
from American brands and has decided to not go very aggressive, but to just preserve market share.
This is hold, right?
Yes, sir, actually.
Correct?
Two.
You all got it?
2B. Yes, sir, hold.
Yeah, then?
Then next question, sir. A tea farm owners plan to open tea cafes in tourist spots and to sell their own premium tea to build a brand. Which of the following can this be termed as? Backward integration, forward integration, diversification, horizontal integration?
Forward integration.
Forward.
Hmm.
One, I'll
Next.
check the answer. 3B, yes, sir. Airlines providing special lounge access to loyal customers is a type of which marketing? Augmented marketing, direct marketing, relationship and service.
Relationship.
Relationship.
Because it's giving cultivating loyalty points. I just not told you, all right? Yeah.
Madhyam, a hearing aid manufacturer, recently introduced an artificial intelligence-based management tool that has the capabilities of managing teams across functions. What would be their new organizational structure post this implementation? Divisional
Hourglass.
So 5
Hourglass is there, right?
Yes, sir. Hourglass. Next, Halder and Sons have invested in latest technology in terms of latest printing machines from Germany and Israel, but recent advent of internet has posed a big threat to their printing business as majority of their clients have now turned to more environmental friendly options. They are not able to sell off their machines, which are now redundant. What condition are they facing right now? Improper market analysis, exit barriers, paranalysis.
Hey, I'm not getting it. What's the first one is?
Improper market analysis.
Second. Second one?
Exit barriers.
Exit barrier. Yeah, that's the one. Then third.
Paralysis of strategic vision. Weak SWOT analysis.
What?
Weak SWOT analysis.
The BBB. That is exit.
SWOT.
Exit
SWOT.
barrier. Exit
Yes.
barrier, right? They cannot sell off their machines, right?
Yes, sir. So these were the MCQs.
Okay, I think so. We're running out of time. So all of y'all, best of luck. And the current is also gone. In any moment, my phone will also die and everything will die. So we'll wind up for today and all the best for your exams. Anytime in the middle, y'all can call me up or find out anything which is happening now. I'm getting a call also. Just hold on. No, 1 minute, share. Just hold.
Yes.
Okay. So you all can always contact me at any point of time before your exam if you'll have any doubts. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah. And also you can call me up if you're feeling low, if you're feeling depressed, if you're feeling scared, if you're feeling that you won't be able to write the exam, just think of me. And if you still think of, put my photo and smiling, and even after that also you feel that you're feeling a little low and you're not able to cope, call me up and I'll help you out, and I'm sure that you will do well. Okay, so please don't take tension. Whatever has to happen will happen. CA is only a road which will lead you to your final destination. Your destination is you'll become an accountant, you'll become a CFO, you'll become a consultant. One of the roads you'll have taken is CA. So don't get too paranoid about it. After 5 or 10 years, you all will all be settled, well settled, and earning well. So don't make too much out of this whole mess of it that this is the end of the world. If I don't clear it, nothing else will happen in my life. All that is all rubbish. Everybody gets taken care of and everybody settles well in life after 5 or 10 years. So don't get too paranoid. Okay, all the best, right? And do well in your exams. Got it? Thank you so much, guys. Should I exit?
Thank you, sir.
Thanks
Thank
a
you,
lot.
sir.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Swapna. Is she there?